Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, 4 injured in crash in Manchester intersection. Four people were injured in a crash involving at least 3 vehicles Wednesday morning in Manchester. Police said the crash shut down the intersection of Chestnut and Merrimack Streets, and investigators are still trying to determine what happened. The crash happened feet away from the central fire station, and firefighters and paramedics ran to help. Officials said 3 of the 4 people who were injured and taken to hospitals are expected to be okay, but 1 person was seriously injured. Police said the driver who caused the crash will likely face criminal charges. The section of Chestnut Street was closed while police investigated, but it was back open by the afternoon. Dog abandoned in carrier dies of heat stroke, MSPCA says. A Chihuahua died of heat stroke Tuesday after being abandoned in a crate in the driveway of an animal shelter in Brockton, according to the MSPCA. A reward is being offered for information leading to a conviction in the case. Joyce, manager of Animal Protection Center of Southeastern Massachusetts, found the carrier with the dog inside on the shelter's driveway at 8:10 a.m. when temperatures had already climbed into the 80s. The dog's temperature registered 110 degrees, the highest reading the thermometer could register, and about 9 degrees higher than dog's regular body temperature, the MSPCA said. The dog was about a year old, a brown and white Chihuahua mix, and weighed about 10 pounds. The dog did not have a microchip or any tags, the MSPCA said. The dog was left in a tan gray plastic carrier with no labels or identifications. Anyone with information about the case is asked to call the MSPCA's toll-free law enforcement line at 800-628-5808. A $1,000 reward will be given to anyone who brings forth information that leads to a conviction, the MSPCA said. Animal cruelty is a felony crime in Massachusetts, punishable by up to 7 years in state prison and a fine to up to $5,000. Officials aware ferry service to Canada may leave Portland. A Portland city official says the city ferry service will likely leave the city for Bar Harbor as a new port for a high-speed service between Maine and Canada. Bay Ferries is on the voyage of submitting a proposal to use Bar Harbor as the western port for its high-speed catamaran, the CAT ferry service between Maine and Nova Scotia. The Bangor Daily News reports the ferry has been operating out of Portland since 2016, and Bay Ferries is expected to submit a formal proposal this week to Bar Harbor officials. Portland official Greg said Tuesday that officials are fully aware they are exploring the options of relocating to Bar Harbor. Bay Ferries CEO Mark declined to comment on the company's future plans. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Wednesday evening. And here's a look at that stock market for all of you this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. CNBC 200 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow drops more than 200 points, snaps 4-day winning streak after U.S. unveils new tariffs on China's goods. Stocks closed sharply lower on Wednesday as trade war between the U.S. and other major economic interferes with the Trump administration unveiling new tariffs on China's goods. Trump doubled down on his demands during a closed-door meeting with leaders. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
National Jetport is connecting you to the places and people that matter the most. We now have non-stop service to Orlando on our new carrier, Frontier Airlines. With the unique brands, new planes, and low fares, the way to Orlando just got way better. Book your flight today at flyfrontier.com. The Portland International Jetport. Way better.
President Trump is in Europe tonight preparing for that contentious meeting with America's chief allies. He and the First Lady have arrived in Brussels, where that NATO summit begins tomorrow. But even during their flight there, the president was still sending out angry tweets blasting some American allies, while saying that meeting with the Russian president might be easier. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell reporting from Belgium tonight.
Today, President Trump on the move and on the offensive, attacking the very people he's off to meet.
NATO has not treated us fairly, but I think we'll work something out. We pay far too much, and they pay far too little.
Even a mile high on Air Force One, the attacks on America's allies didn't let up. The president tweeting, "Many countries in NATO, which we're expected to defend, are not only short of their current commitment, but are also delinquent for many years in payments that haven't been made. Will they reimburse the US? It's true that some NATO countries aren't yet spending the agreed-upon amounts for their own defense, but the president's persistent claim they owe the US money is false.
I'll see NATO, and I'm going to tell NATO, you got to start paying your bills. The United States is not going to take care of everything.
But the president's tone today sharply different when he spoke of his upcoming meeting with Vladimir Putin.
I have NATO, I have the UK, which is in somewhat turmoil, and I have Putin. Frankly, Putin may be the easiest of them all. Who would think?
American intelligence agencies say Putin interfered in the 2016 election, but the president still doesn't seem to accept that.
Mr. President, would you say Vladimir Putin is a friend or a foe?
I really can't say right now. As far as I'm concerned, a competitor. It's a competitor.
Today, from the president of the European Council, a stern warning.
Dear America, appreciate your allies. After all, you don't have that many.
And Ian Panel joined us tonight from Brussels. And Ian, former Texas Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison is the current U.S. ambassador to NATO. And we took note today that while in Brussels, reporters were pressing her on the president's comments, asking her, why would a meeting with President Putin be easier than meeting with U.S. allies?
Yeah, great question, David, but in actual fact there was pretty much not much of an answer. She said anything other than the president has a message to give and he's going to deliver it. Meanwhile, the head of the European Council doubling down on his criticism of President Trump, saying when he meets Vladimir Putin, he needs to know the difference between a strategic friend and a strategic problem. David?
Ian Panel with us tonight. Ian, our thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.